Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips, which is brought to you by Wellness Farm Health, the Wellness Farm Institute, and Make Americans Free Again. We have the first order of business today is our drawing. As I mentioned last week, anybody who purchased something from Wellness Farm between last Monday and July 3rd at 5 p.m. when we close for the holiday, name went in a drawing for each purchase. So some people purchased more than once, and they got their name in here a bunch of times. So I've got this great big bowl here. I'll show it to you. Great big bowl. And we'll hope that Winston doesn't jump into it. He's super curious about this. He does not know what's going on, but I'm going to toss all these here and we will come up with a name. And I'm going to not look when I reach in, and it's Janie Bradstreet. Janie Bradstreet, you are the winner of a 6-class virtual yoga series taught by Heidi Plum, the co-author of my book, which we finished this weekend, by the way, Conversations with Pam, The Power of Informed Healthcare. And so anyway, Janie Bradstreet, I'll have Kelly reach out to you if you're not watching this. And if you are watching it, call the office today because you are the person who won this. So that's the first thing. You can also participate in the yoga class series by enrolling in it. It starts July 23rd. There are 6 classes, 5:30 Eastern time. We do record them, so people always ask about that. We record all the live stuff we do. And the cost is $149 for the tuition. And it is the same series of poses that I teach. And so if you took my series before and you'd just like to have some camaraderie and a refresher, this would be good for you too. All right. One thing I am going to do, because I had a couple of people ask me about it, and I don't like to make exceptions. We either do it for everybody or we don't do it, is I'm going to extend the buy at least 1 month's supply of all the smoothie ingredients, and I'll give an extra green tea. I'm going to do that till the end of the week, and then that's it. But we had a couple of people who said I didn't see it and blah, blah, blah. And so, like I said, if I make an exception for one, I feel like I should do it for everybody. So that offer still stands, 1 month of smoothie ingredients, and you get a free tea. Of course, you can buy more. And if you buy more, you get free shipping, and that adds up over a period of time too. All right, so a couple of things to talk about today from a health news standpoint. And the first one is a response to an inquiry. I've been trying to include more of these in my videos this year. And so a person in the healthcare business sent this email to me, and I'll read it to you. I paraphrased a little bit just in the interest of brevity. She writes, I have a friend who ordered ivermectin and is taking it to prevent cancer. I'm cautioning her that this is not a good idea. She's always over the top with protein powders and supplements and collagen, no matter what she learns from me. What research can I point her to discourage her? What have you learned about taking this other than for COVID or parasites? So here's what I wrote back, and I think there's some great lessons in this for consumers and providers, because I think almost everybody in our side of healthcare, better diet, better habits, informed decision making, we see our friends and family members doing things that we know are not good, and there's just this desire to intervene. I guess that's the best way to put it. So here's what I wrote back. First, what you describe is the reason why informed medical decision making is so important. There are a couple things that really stand out about this email. The first is the friend knows nothing about health or how to build a healthy body. She's taking useless supplements and she thinks she needs more protein, and she would know how bad these ideas are if she had access to our libraries and took our member classes and learned how to conduct her own research. She's obviously the opposite of what we talk about when we talk about informed. She's uninformed, right? We can assume that her decision to take ivermectin to prevent cancer is just as uninformed as the other decisions reported in this email. The second thing that's important to pay attention to is the person who sent the email says her friend never listens to anything she says. Welcome to the club is my first response. Many of the people closest to me don't listen to me either, but there's no sense in doing about this, about trying to intervene. She's indicated no willingness to listen or to change your ways. So spending time trying to convince her, whether it's a friend or a family member, to start or stop doing something health related is a waste of time. And I'll add that it can sometimes be a bit disrespectful. We don't try to intervene when friends purchase ugly clothes or buy a piece of furniture that we would never put in our own houses. So unless you're asked, I think the best thing is just be quiet. And if you spent time with me socially, you would probably wonder, why doesn't Pam say something to some of these people? It's because they haven't asked me to. Now, I'm going to share with you how I would respond if this person had written to me about this ivermectin issue, the high protein supplement taking person. And she's wondering, should she take it for cancer prevention? My response wouldn't have really been direct answer to the question. It would have been this: thank you so much for writing, and I'd be happy to discuss these issues with you. The first step is to join, fill out some paperwork, and then we can set up a time for our first meeting. At that time and during our discussion, I can show you how to use our libraries and our classes to help you learn how to answer these and many other questions about your health. Attached, you'll find some information about how this works, so let me know if you have any questions, and I hope to be talking to you soon. Now, why is this the right response? Well, the first thing is it sorts out people who are or aren't serious about improving their health. So the person who isn't serious about learning about this stuff won't respond, and the person who is will. It leads to better outcomes. In other words, what I want is for people to become informed, to have not just the answers to a particular question, but know how to get the answers to the questions, the right answers. I tell people, listen, just assume that someday I may get hit by a bus and I don't show up for work the next morning. I want our members and the people who are interested in health to know how to do this stuff when I'm not around. I'm not planning on that, by the way, but just in case, right? So we want people to discern good from bad information by learning research principles, and then they end up with more conviction about their health-related choices. One of the things that I think is a wonderful gift of the informed process is that when people say to me, oh, you don't get an annual checkup, or aren't you worried about protein? I'm not worried about anything because I understand and I've read and really do understand the research supporting what I've decided to do. So, and then the last thing I would say for the practitioner involved, whether it's me or somebody else, is that better outcomes are better for the client and for the practitioner. One of the things I tell the people I train in this business, and we've trained a lot of health professionals over the years, is that you want raving fans of your process. You want people to just, an experience like I've never had before. And ours, what we offer our members, is an experience like they've never had before. So we're all in to help people who are all in to be helped, right? The only way things get better, and we wrote about this in our book, Conversations with Pam, is if our entire society becomes more informed. It's the only answer to our healthcare mess. So practitioners of all types email me with these types of issues. So I'm going to offer some free help. Our mastery class for health professionals is Tuesday, July 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 3 hours a night, 9 hours of free education. And we're going to talk about everything from how to get more clients to how to work with clients to how to build your brand, to clinical skills, to some business training, and et cetera, et cetera. It's free. All you have to do is email me to sign up. Pam Popper at wellnessforum.com. And by the way, since we're talking a little bit about the research issue, next week is our research boot camp, Friday night, Saturday afternoon. I hope you'll join me during that time. We're going to do some online research together in the Zoom room, and I'm going to show you some basic principles how to figure out stuff on your own. So there's still time to sign up for that if you haven't already. And some of you who joined recently have points that you can apply to the research class. So let us help you check that out, whether or not you get some a discount on it for that reason. All right, so the second thing, super fascinating study about breathing. And the study shows that there's a relationship between breathing patterns, overall health, and psychological health. So researchers measured airflow and breathing patterns for 100 people using a wearable device that measured airflow in and out of each nostril. And lots of detail. The article is really long. I'm going to summarize for you here. The bottom line is the researchers reported that humans have a nasal respiratory fingerprint, which predicts both their physiological markers like BMI and their psychological states like levels of anxiety or depression or even their behavioral tendencies. Even more interesting is that individual breathing patterns remained individually specific and stable over time, just like a fingerprint. Most fascinating to me, anyway, was the researchers were able to identify 96.8% of the participants by their nasal airflow patterns alone. Now, this is fascinating, but I think the most important part of it is that breathing patterns can be changed. And we know that changed breathing patterns can lead to significant positive changes in health, which brings me to our next member workshop will be July 31st. Well, we have conversations with Pam and the Informed 101 series and all that, but the next special event, which we do these once a month, will be on July 31st, Heart Rhythms and Regulation, the science behind heart-focused breathing. The instructor is somebody you want to listen to. Her name is Diana Marie Duganitz, and she is a graduate of our program, a good friend, a great lady, lots of compassion. She cares about people. She's a great teacher, and you're not going to want to miss this. She's also certified as a HeartMath practitioner as well. I was so excited when she decided to join forces with us because I recommend HeartMath a lot, and I'm always telling people go online and see if you can find somebody. Well, now we have somebody, right? So anyway, this is a great opportunity to learn how to change your breathing, which changes your health, and other things that Diana can teach. So anyway, we've got lots of exciting stuff coming up, both live and, of course, we have these huge libraries of recorded programs that you're welcome to participate in too. Don't forget about joining, because joining allows you to get points toward courses you want to take, like our upcoming research bootcamp. And don't forget to enroll in our 6-class yoga series. This particular yoga class, by the way, is the class series that I used to rehab my own body after I was in a horrific accident and in a lot of pain and really facing the prospect of a lot of disability as well. This is how I healed my body. All right. Well, that's it for today. I think that's enough for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I'll be back to you on Thursday with more news. Thanks so much for watching.